Okay, now that I'm finally making a new video, that hopefully means that Fedor will stop spamming me text messages telling me to do so. I'm not even really sure why I only made 2 in the series and then just stopped production. Well, since I know there shouldn't be a long gap between parts, and the fact that I don't even know where half my rating cards even did, I'm just going to go ahead and remaster this without actually using the cards. Like I went full on and made a tier chart instead. And this means I'm finally gonna use something a little more organized to rate all 807. Wait, there's 890? Dang, I missed a couple after Sword and Shield came out. I should have thought about it finishing it quickly. Now, I'm gonna let you. I don't actually know anything about Pokemon at all, so I'm just gonna rate the Pokemon based off of how cool or lame they are. Because let's face it, disasters like this really deserve some attention. For all the wrong reasons, though. Also, I'm only going to do with the original ones, not like the megas and stuff like that. I don't even know what half of these things even are. And as always, these ratings are done by a 13-and-a-half-year-old male, so I'm bound to have different opinions than you, which is totally fine. Since this is a remaster of what I originally did, let's see if my opinions change on any of them. Anyway, to start the extremely long journey, then we have Bulbasaur, the first one, which I think is alright. Yeah, nothing too special. Not really all for the cute stuff, but I can sort of make an exception for this. So I'll rate Bulbasaur fairly high for this. I got maybe about 65 with its score of a decent. Yes, this chart is going to get very full very quickly. And after that, we have Ivysaur, which is definitely a step up from his original counterpart. He looks super cool, which I'll rate him a lot higher than that. Like, let's say 75, a good score. And after we got that out of the way, we have Venomoth, which is a little too much for my liking. Definitely better than Bulbasaur, though, which means I'll put the Venomoth right in between all 3 of them. Well, 2 of them, I mean, you know what I mean. And even though I rated Bulbasaur fairly high for being cute, I'm probably not going to say the same about Charmander. In my opinion, he just looks kind of dumb. Which means that, sorry, I'm going to have to put you in the negative side. Now, in between these 2, Charmander and Charizard, we have what I like to call the awkward teen years in Pokemon form. Which looks just plain weird. Like, what's with that thing on top of his head? Like, I'm not going to rate Charmeleon too low, but it still looks pretty weird. And after we got those 2 out of the way, we have Charizard. And now we're talking... we have a nice, actual, really good-looking dragon-type Pokemon. Which is definitely going to be probably the highest one I'm going to rate in this episode at all. All the way at a score of an excellent. Screw you, Legion, for taking over that Charizard I was making. I worked hard on that. And finally, we have the final, what they call starter Pokemon, Squirtle. Which, okay, he doesn't look dumb like Charmander does. He actually kind of has the same charm that Bulbasaur has, which I'll give him that. Which I'll put him at the same rank that Bulbasaur is. Well, this okay, I take back what I said about the awkward teen years Pokemon being Charmeleon. Because Wartortle is much worse than that. Like, why does he look so strange? If you saw my... you knew exactly how much I hated him if you saw my original one for Wartortle. Although I will say, compared to some of the other stuff I saw before, this isn't the worst I've seen. So I'm not going to rate him as terribly as I did the previous time. Whoops. And now that your eyes are bleached, feast your eyes on this Blastoise, which is much better than his other counterparts. He looks totally cool. Just going over there, staring at Wartortle. Look at this dude. And we're having a pretty positive episode so far. And I spoke too soon. Caterpie just looks plain awful. Like, he looks all nasty, and for some reason, why does he look so angry at me? I did nothing wrong. What we have here is very bad. Well, actually, I probably won't go that low. I'll probably just move him up here. And after this, we have Metapod. I have no idea how a caterpillar turned into this disaster. Or did this... Oh, this is recording. Sorry, the design for this just looks lazily done. Okay, it's properly ranked now. After that's Butterfree, which is... Well, it's a butterfly, which looks very creepy. Not really the best I've seen, but whatever. Now this is Wheedle. I don't really think they're even trying with the Caterpillar Pokemon. In fact, I'm not really sure if this even should classify as a Pokemon. Okay, I think they're just doing like Cocoon type Pokemon. But still, Kakuna still looks pretty dumb. Although, I don't really think this is as bad as the other Cocoon Pokemon. Actually, should Cocoons even classify as Pokemon? Then this is Beedrill, which actually looks much better. Like a pretty good intimidation level. It's really weird how this, it came from this, I'm not sure what to call it, which, now I'll just go ahead and rate this fairly high, like above average. Now over here we have Pidgey, which is basically just a bird Pokemon. So, it's actually pretty okay, which I'll give Pidgey that. Put it over at the decent spot where the other two starters. Okay, forget that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. Which, that bird Pokemon actually looks a lot better than Pidgey. Like a pretty good intimidation level. Actually looks really good, in my opinion. There we go. The 18th one, Pidgeot, also looks pretty cool. Although I do really want to know why it looks less evolved than the unpronounceable bird is. Either way, they both look just about the same, which means I'll rate Pidgeot right where the other one is, since there's not really any difference. Then it's Ratata. What? I'm not really sure how to say about this one. I'll just give it a solid 50. And it's Raticate, or something like that, which looks slightly better. Although, I will mention something. So, there's all these unnecessary Pokemon over here. Whenever I see one of those, I just move it to the bottom. But it can't. I accidentally moved the original one over here, down to the unknown area over here. So I'm left with this train wreck instead. Which, since I can't really rate the other one, so I'll just go ahead and rate this disaster at a 15. Although if I could find it, I'd actually rate it at an okay. Now it's number 21, Spearow, which is a much better bird Pokemon than the other ones I've seen so far. This one looks totally cool. In my opinion, it's great. And after Spearow, it's Fearow, which is true to his name because I fear this. I definitely don't like this as much as Spearow, but I will put it on the positive side, just barely. Now after that's Ekans, which fun fact is snake spelled backwards, which it's a fairly good looking snake. Not all that special, but I can deal with it. A solid 65. Then after that's Arbok, which is Cobra spelled backwards, which looks much better. Well, I don't mean it that way, but it looks very, very good. A much higher intimidation level than Ekans could ever give. And this gets a great from me. Actually, maybe all Pokemon names are spelled, no, what it's made of backwards. No, that's not what I meant by that. And finally, the one we all know and love, Pikachu. In my opinion, I don't really think Pikachu looks as good as others may think, but whatever. Y'all can have your opinions, but I'll stick with mine. And now that we're at the halfway point, I'll show you what we have so far. After that is Raichu, which is another one of those awkward teen stages, which I can't really call that, since it's the final stage. Personally, I'm not really a fan. Not a fan of Sand True either. I'm not really into this weird yellow brick road thing. So, we have so far. Then it's Sand Slash, which I will say is a major improvement from what it originally was. Looks like a real proper Pokemon. In fact, I'll put this all the way up to the good tier. Now we have Nidorian, which is some weird mouse Pokemon. I'm not really sure. Just go ahead give this another solid 50 over here. And just like that, we have another awful, awkward teen stage here. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. It's all over the place. Definitely not for me. Then this is Nidoqueen. I'm not sure what to say about this either. I guess it's an improvement from what it originally was. Not really sure how this came from a mouse Pokemon, but whatever. Oh, okay. This part's unscripted, so it's decent. Now we have Dendorian again. I guess this is the male counterpart, which still, this isn't really the type for me. It still looks fairly all over the place. I can think it's meh, not all that great. Okay, can someone tell me how does this garbage happen from a mouse Pokemon like this? Sorry, my birder came into the room right as I did that. I don't even remember where it was. All I'm saying is this is not for me. Which all over the place. I'm giving another lousy tier. Then after that's Nidoking, which still isn't really for me. Not as good as a female counterpart. I'm gonna save time now since this is getting long. Since both these two look exactly the same. I'm not really a fan. Not for me. Yeah, but since they look exactly the same, I'll put them both at the exact same tier. Now over here we have Vulpix. I'm not really sure how they got named from this. Which it actually looks pretty cute. Like I can do this. Questionable amount of tails though, but this is pretty good. Going into good tier. No, going to the above average tier, my bad. And right when I said the other one had a questionable number of tails, this one is way more chaotic. I mean, the name of this Pokemon is literally 9 tails. Still looks pretty cool though. But the fact that all the tails are bigger than the rest of the body, it sort of takes some of it away. But whatever, this can go into decent tier. Now over here we have Jigglypuff. You know how I am, I don't do cute stuff. Especially not lethal amounts of it. Probably not gonna like me for this, but it has to be done. Wigglytuff is at the same. Now, sort of an improvement from what Jigglypuff is, and definitely an improvement from what Igglybuff is. We'll go to that in another episode. Still not really a fan. But at least it's getting a higher rating than this. Then it's Zubat, which is just a regular old bat Pokemon, not much to say. It's alright. Now we have its evolution counterpart, which mouth is, oh sorry about that, Dad came in, whose mouth is the size of the rest of his body, which I do not like. Going to the meta tier. Okay, we're almost done now. Over here we have Oddish, which, like it sort of has that slightly cute charm, that charm that like Bulbasaur and Squirtle has. Like I can deal with it. Then after Oddish, we have Gloom, which is exactly what I feel after seeing this train wreck. I mean, it's drooling. What do you expect? And this is definitely not for me. But then after that, we have Vileplume, which, again, has a sort of charm, which I'm not really sure... Sorry, I'm not really sure how this comes from this, though, but whatever. This is alright. Here we go. That's a lot of decent. After that, it's Paris, which I'm gonna say, if you're gonna make a crab Pokemon, at least make one with an actual normal mouth. Just the mouth alone is already making me not putting it in a positive tier. Then its evolution counterpart is Parasect, which has a normal counterpart. Well, to compensate for its not normal eyes, which are staring into your soul, and a slight improvement though. And sorry about this, but about now I'm probably going to edit the names to what they originally were, because they're yeah, the difference between decent and above average is starting to mess with my head. Much better. Dang, this is almost 15 minutes long already. Anyway, we're almost done. After that is the horror that is this. I'm not really willing to make another one of those look at this do things, so just look at the original one so you can see exactly what it is. My opinion has not changed. I hate it. Venomoth, which I'm still not totally a fan of. I mean, for one thing, why is its teeth completely outside on the sides of the mouth? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, here we go. In my opinion, this chart's starting to get full already. So what I think I'm going to do is reset it at every episode, but still keep like all of them at once. So, like there's one for every episode, but then another chart for every single one at once. Anyway, finally we have Diglett, which in my opinion looks sort of lame. So anyway, here we are placing the last one. Hopefully, you agree with me with what I think it is. Anyway, that's the end. Dang, this is 15.5 minutes long.